How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Retrospect, your go-to retro gaming podcast. You're listening to episode 60. Today, we'll be having a little convo about the future of Retrospect, what's ahead, and maybe what you can expect. On the mics, as always, we have the head honcho of wearing ponchos, Brandon Saltalamacchio. What's up, dude?
I did actually wear a poncho in Disneyland.
Did you really?
They charged me €16 for a bin bag with the Disney logo on it. Man, that should be illegal.
You better have hung on to that, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to use that for everything, man.
Oh, $16 for a trash bag.
Euros. So I don't know what that is in dollars. That's closing in on 20
Even more.
buckaroonies. Yeah.
20 buckaroonies. That's what we call them here in the States. Buckaroonies. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it could be a collector's item, honestly.
It could be. Man, it was terrible, though. Like, it was flapping. The little poppers were literally popping off. I was like, Jesus, I could just go to Costco and get a bin bag for like $1.
Poppers? What are poppers?
Yeah, you know, the thing you like... You don't have a zip.
Oh,
we call them
snaps.
poppers.
Okay, wait, snaps.
You call them snaps.
Yeah, they call them snaps.
I was going to say that's like typical, like American. Like, what should we call it? Well, it's snaps. Let's just call it snaps. But then the poppers are exactly the same thing. Poppers, they got the pops though.
Well, and then the Americans also want to just make sure that they were as different as possible. They're like, no. The British call them poppers. We're going to call it something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
What snaps? Oh, snap. Let's snap.
Oh, but this is also a snap. Now I'm confused. Yeah. I don't know.
Funny.
That's hilarious. Well, if it says Disneyland Paris on the back, dude, you can put that on eBay. Get your money back. Some Disney freak out there will buy it. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. Also, another thing about ponchos. Let me just say this real quick. This is important. This is important in light of everything else we're talking about today. Okay. The people need to know about this. Ponchos, not good for most anything, and they insulate too much. You get so hot under a poncho, they just like suck in all the heat and they just trap you inside of there. And then all the condensation gets on the inside and you get wet anyways.
And it just feels like a big filter of all this rainwater going directly into your toes.
Yep.
Like it doesn't, the poncho should have like a little thing where it just, like an umbrella. But
just
no,
like a little
just
drape.
Straight into your crotch and ankle.
Yeah.
And then you're behind someone. You're behind someone with a poncho and it's windy. Like, you can't even see anything. You're just in a queue waiting to get on like Buzz Lightyear's ride. It's like 60 ponchos in your face. It's like, God dang.
Disney's like, what is the cheapest thing that we could give our guests, our visitors, so they can stand in the rain and wait for these rides for 4 hours?
Yeah.
They could have
I read something where you're not allowed to sit down at Disney in the lines. Like people bring like little like chairs that like snap out of like nowhere. Like
I think you could probably sit down. It's probably discouraged. I mean, like people probably question like a grown adult just sitting on the ground. Like, is that person okay? Like, are they all right?
Oh God.
Oof, man. Well, anyways, I'm glad we got the poncho talk out of the way. A little bit of housekeeping for you guys, though. Be sure to check out RetroDodo.com for all the hottest retro news coming out, from emulation and everything else to, I don't even know, handheld history, 88 to 95. You know what I'm talking about? And also CardGamer.com, where you can get all your card gaming news, climbing the Google ranks like nobody's ever seen before.
Oh man, it's popping off. I think we tomorrow we'll have 100,000 visits in a month, dude. It's bonkers. Like,
how long did it take you to hit that with retro?
Oh man, well over a year, probably like 18 months,
dude.
Yeah, but we haven't really fully monetized it yet, so we're not getting like the same earnings as you would like per thousand with Dodo. But it's a great start. And it helps us kind of be a bit more resilient with Dodo as well. You know, if we've got like 2 little income streams, because Google likes to take our traffic now and then.
Like to take our traffic. Well, also tweet at us on the old Twitters or x.com. I am Brandon Salt is Brandon's, or retro_Dodo, and BitBloggist for me. So yeah, we have a little bit of an announcement today on today's episode. I said today twice there. But yeah, Brandon and I have been talking the past few weeks. And so, we're at episode 60 now. And we talked in the past that he and I both have very big monumental life changes coming up very, very soon with a whole lot of other stuff going on. We're going into fourth quarter here. So what that means for Retro Dodo is a lot of work, a lot of ads, a lot of things that it's going to take away time. And so we decided that we are probably, and most assuredly, I'm not sure why I'm saying probably, we're going to be pausing the podcast for now. I know that's sad to hear for some of you guys, but I think that is probably the best thing for both of us in terms of just being able to lock in and do what we need to do. And yeah, Brandon, I don't know if you wanted to mention anything on top of what I just said, but I feel like I stole a lot of what you were going to say.
You nailed the two biggest points there. The biggest one is that me and Jake are expecting, a child. It's my first, Jake's second. Yours is December, right?
That is December, yes, sir.
What day?
It is the 18th.
Man, you could have a Christmas baby.
Well, the original due date was Christmas. And our doctor was like, yeah, we'll do the 18th. Like, okay. So yeah, that's our due date now.
Wow.
But yeah, we're excited about it, and I think this is like the perfect little time to kind of pause and think about some stuff. Brandon and I also have some cool ideas in the hopper. I don't know, Brandon, if you have any other, if you wanted to mention that about like anything down the road we might be considering working on. This is not set in stone. These are just ideas that we've had, but
to be fair, you came up with the idea, and I think where me and Jake want to take the podcast is we definitely want to feature more guests, and we want this podcast to be a bit more predominant in this space. Like, it's all good, me and Jake talking on and off about different subjects, but I think where the magic lies is in guests, and we have been thinking about turning the podcast into seasons so we can have a little bit of time off. Doing it weekly is great, but it does get in the way, and it can get a little bit overwhelming at times. So I think where me and Jake kind of want to take it is maybe we do seasons where we do, I don't know, we actually haven't discussed how many episodes would be in a season, but I'm thinking like 8 to 12.
Do it here right now.
Yeah, 8 to 12. So you get 3 months of like podcasts, and then we might take a bit of time off. We don't know how long off. It could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And then that gives us time in that 3 months off or 1 month off to plan the next season and make it even better. So, there's a lot to do with like marketing and planning the episodes, getting the guests on. That takes a lot of time. But also like being able to like hype up the next season will help views, it will help sponsorships, it will help us, actually earn a little bit of revenue through this to keep it, alive, so to speak. So I think that's kind of where we plan to take the podcast in the future, is really hype up the seasons, getting really cool guests, giveaways and stuff, and just making every episode super exciting. Not that they aren't already, but there's only a certain amount of episodes where you can talk about Disney ponchos. Do you know what I mean?
No, there's every episode. Yeah, I mean, like this is very much a conversational podcast, like almost in the way of like talk radio. Like you just have like people just chit chatting, talking back and forth, and it's a lot of fun. But it is like, I think from a revenue generating standpoint and something that fits in well with like Retro Dodo's future plans with like premium and whatever else, there's probably going to be a great way to segue that content into something that can be packaged, sent out in advance. And there's a lot that we can do behind the scenes in preparation instead of like doing one every single week where we're like having to like grab news, grab content and like write it every single week, where it's like, okay, we can plan for a while, we can record and then just like ship it and be done for a little bit, take a break, because Brandon and I are both going to need some breaks. We're going to need some breaks here and there. So yeah, I think that'll be a fun experiment if we ever get to that. But I mean, there's a likelihood that, it might just be something where like I'm like, dude, I am deep in 2 kids here. Like my life is insane. There is literally no way like I will explode if I try this. So I don't want to promise anything, but I do think it's a really cool idea that we can maybe hopefully revisit in the future. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think that's well said. And there's like small things as well, like distribution of the podcast, like that takes time. If we want to distribute it, we have to, create shorts, emails, newsletter, all of this stuff, and that takes up extra time. And I'm super busy. Jake works full time, so finding the time to be able to actually create all of this, edit it, snap it together is time consuming. I don't want to put any stress on Jake either, or the team for distributing it. So I think we've come to the decision to have, some time off to think, recalibrate, and see what the future holds for the podcast. This is my first child, so I'm super worried, how it's going to be on me and Kate and the business.
Dude, so prayers for sleep. Prayers
man.
for sleep, because, dude, if that kid doesn't sleep, then you're done, dude.
I'm not too bad with a little amount of sleep, but you don't want to talk
Extended.
to me. If I have a podcast episode on the day I've got no sleep, that ain't gonna be any fun.
Hey Jake, I don't even care about anything right now. I'm just so tired.
Yeah, I'll just be
I'm here. Well, it's just so I have some friends that, so my wife, we did sleep training. This is a thing that you gotta look up if you're a parent. Sleep training after they're
for the
of
kids.
age.
I thought, not for you. Okay.
Yeah, for the kid. Yeah, not for you. Sorry. For I don't know what sleep training for an adult would look like.
That's why I got confused. Every hour, your partner's got to slap you in the face to wake you up, and you got to try and get back in under 3 minutes. I got this.
I'm here. You have to figure out how to solve a puzzle while you're still under 10 minutes of sleep. All right, your brain is still functioning. You're good. No, with the kid, after a certain age, you're allowed to start trying to do this with them, because there's health risks apparently. If you try it too soon. Some people say there's not. I don't know. But basically, you just start stretching the amount of time that your kid is in asleep, or at least in the crib. You don't immediately go get them every single time they cry, and you stretch that out longer and longer and longer, and then eventually they sleep through the night. And it took us maybe a month, but after that month was over, dude, that first night of 6+ hours of sleep is heavenly. Truly.
When did you hit that? You reckon a month in you got 6 hours?
No. Yeah, there's 3 months of they sleep 3 hours. They get, which is actually not bad. They sleep 3 hours, but then what ends up happening is they start getting off that rhythm, and then they go crazy. And so you have to either commit to trying to get them to sleep longer, or you just let it happen, and then you're never sleeping. So yeah, sleep training, I would highly recommend it. It is a game changer, and you'll be so happy. It takes about 3 months for the kid to get out of that cycle, and then after 3 months, you can start doing sleep training. So yeah, the first 3 months, you're going to be tired. You're going to be tired, dude.
Which takes us January, February, March, April. That takes me to April, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's Q2, baby.
You're gonna be a tired guy.
Yeah, I'm very lucky with this job. I'm able to help Kate, and I think we agreed that we take turns. One day I'll get up for the kid, next day Kate. So we kind of know going into bed is my night off. I'm sleeping tonight.
Yeah, you either do the alternation where each time the kid wakes up, you go in, and then next time the kid wakes up, she goes in. So you kind of get those longer stretches, or you just do one night. The only issue with that is if she's going to be actually be feeding or not, and that's tough.
Yeah,
so she might have to always get up, and then you're like, how can I help? I'm so sorry. Do you need a back rub? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyways, this is not a baby podcast, but that's a great thing to talk about for anybody else that's expecting. So I did want to mention, Brandon, what's been your favorite part of recording Retrospect so far?
You, man. Bringing you on. You on gave some life to the podcast. I can actually get excited about doing it. Previously, it was a slug. Doing it on my own, trying to
doing
find
a news
stuff.
Recap. Yeah.
Because it's not tough. Just I do it, to be fair, now because I've got you. I just log on. But beforehand, you writing the scripts and stuff, you know how busy it can get. It's not just recording. There's a lot that goes into this production. So I like that you took that off my plate. But more importantly, just being able to talk to someone about retro games every week. And you're on the other side of the world. Fucking technology's great, man. Do you know what I mean?
Technology's wild, dude. It's nuts. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I think the biggest thing for me is I wasn't I grew up in the 90s, so anything that I liked in the 90s is now considered retro. So in terms of my retro knowledge, like I have it inherently from being a gamer for so long, but I have had to like force myself to learn a lot about things I didn't know, especially like just how things were named differently in Europe versus the United States. I'm just like, dude, wait, this is the Mega Drive, or is this the Master System, or is this the Sega Genesis? Like, what are we talking about here? So learning all that was great. And then I think also, yeah, just it's been so fun getting to know you. I feel like we instantly had like a very good rapport, and it was very easy to just talk on the podcast and laugh and just joke about stuff. So in terms of people that are thinking about doing a podcast similar to this, you just have to find someone with a personality like Brandon, and then you have to have someone who can orchestrate that personality into a podcast every single week, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, and I feel like you always need a lead. You are the lead, so I kind of like know when to like back out or let you like alternate where the direction of the podcast. Where I think if you've got like two alpha podcasters, it just gets a little like croaky.
Yeah. I wouldn't describe myself as an alpha podcaster, but you're absolutely right. I've been on some podcasts of other people where like it's like they, that this is what they do as well. And so when I'm on that podcast and I'm used to being the host, it's like really weird. Like I literally have to just sit there and wait. Like I just sit there and wait for forever for them to talk. And I hope that's not the same for you, but I feel like it probably is sometimes where like I'm just waiting for him to like come to me. So I'm just like letting there talking. He's like, Jake, what do you think? I'm like, okay, now I'll say something, so like that works best. Cause if I try to interject, then it like throws everything off. So yeah, usually you just got to wait it out.
And I think I've always liked the guests, getting people on and building a connection with them. We had Bob Wolf on, and then we went and met him in real life in New York. And it was just there was no like, we didn't have to break the ice. We knew who we were. We knew what we did. We've sat on a podcast for an hour. It was just really nice. And, for someone who works in this industry and has them for a long time and is trying to grow their own publication, like building connections like that is vital in this industry. And, relationships are very important, and building community as well.
Guests. Yeah. It's just fun. It's just fun having people on from different areas too. Talking to Sean and getting to know his background. I was like, oh, that's like, you've done a lot of stuff in the games industry. And then talking to Russ, like getting to know the man behind mostly just the top-down videos. I think because up until that point, Russ really wasn't doing a lot of camera-facing stuff. He was doing mostly just his instructional videos about everything he was doing on his handhelds. And then I saw his face and I was like, oh, this is Russ. What's up, dude? That was pretty cool.
And that's one thing I want to do more. Get more creators in. Put the spotlight on them, because I'm a big fan of learning how they work, what they do, how they got to where they are. We had Game Boy Zero on. That was a really cool podcast. I like that. So that's kind of where
so nice.
We take all these good parts that we've had and build them into like really cool seasons. Should we make a return? And when we do, I think the podcast is going to be awesome. And then we can start looking at getting sponsors and stuff and making it like. Maybe we look at the first episode back. I deep throat a corn dog.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think we got to figure out if we can get some frozen corn dog companies to sponsor us. I literally had corn. I bought some frozen corn. I think I told you this. I bought some frozen corn dogs because Hannah had never had them before. And
frozen,
I was like,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you can make them more disgusting. Do you microwave them? Please don't tell me microwave.
No, oven. Okay, yeah, there's a brand here called State Fair, 100% beef corn dogs. All right. You can get a 16 pack from Walmart for $12.
How are we gonna get one over here? I really don't want a corn dog that's been on a plane for like 12 hours and frozen, man. Oh god, it's gonna be like compressed.
I'll send you some freeze-dried corn dogs, dude. You can just rehydrate them. It'll be fine. But yeah, dude, they're not bad. I mean, because corn dogs themselves already are disgusting. So if you're gonna eat them, I mean, you're not doing yourself.
Amazon in the UK.
You're probably the only person.
It just comes up with like dog food, dude. Oh, what the? Nah.
You're probably the only person in the UK that's looking for frozen corn dogs.
Oh, There's corn dog mix. Oh,
yes.
man.
Well, that's normal because what you're doing is you're frying it. So you dip your hot dog on a stick into the mix, like pancake mix, and then you put it in a deep fryer and you fry it. That's
Maybe
the true way to make a corn dog.
Then. Yeah, maybe I make them. Homemade corn dogs.
Dude, if you make homemade corn dog, I can't speak. If you make homemade corn dogs, you should make a little cooking class of cooking with Brandon, and you're just it's just you trying to make corn dogs.
Just Kate would just see me in the kitchen. Like, what are you making? I gotta make corn dogs.
Honestly, dude, that would be. I would watch that. I would tune in. I would be there. That sounds incredible. Live stream it on Twitch. On Twitch. Oh, all right. Well, I couldn't end this podcast without asking you one more time, Brandon. What are you playing?
I love this segment. I love it. I dream about it. I hear you in my ear like, what are you playing?
I dream about it.
I've actually been playing the original Pokemon Blue on the Analog Pocket, but not colored. I've been going with like the whole greeny Game Boy DMG vibes, just to take it back to the good old nostalgic days.
How do you... Well, and I'm sure it looks nice because you said you're playing it on the glow-in-the-dark pocket.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the glow-in-the-dark pocket now that you've had it for a while?
It's just a marketing stunt, man. Like, you know, I actually think the black one is much sleeker, but I think I just like this because I know it's limited. You know, that's marketing at its finest. It's a special edition. There's probably only a few thousand of them. It's just a bit too green. Do you know what I mean?
It's very green, especially and I've noticed this is what bothers me about the glow-in-the-dark pocket. Is the glow-in-the-dark coating that they put on there is kind of speckled. I don't know if that's if that comes through as much, but I noticed that it just has little dots of color on it.
I don't know if you're able to see this.
I thought you were about to do some more ASMR. Oh, this is some visual ASMR. We're about to see Brandon's glow in the dark. You can't see anything. Your light in the background is still on.
You might be able to see this. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to make this ASMR. All the little glow speckles are now getting fried. I'm hoping my camera focuses. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you can see it there.
You know, kind of.
You can see how it's splotchy. It's like the coating is splotchy on there, I guess, is how you would describe it, right?
Yeah, like those classic glow in the dark stickers that you used to get of the stars as a kid.
Yep.
This might be a little bit better for you to see.
Oh wow! Look at that! Just a bright circle.
You know, it is. I'm actually really excited about the transparent ones, which me and you managed to snag, and they should be with us in a couple of weeks. I can imagine.
Well, on the shipping, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to talk about it a little bit. It said 5 to 7 days, ready to ship 5 to 7 days, and I was like, oh sweet, so a week. I'm getting this in a week. That sounds great. And then I keep checking, and then nothing. So maybe it's meant
quite typical of Analog. I think mine said 2 weeks, but I'm UK based. So
maybe once it ships, it'll be 5 to 7 days that it gets to your location.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I got excited though, and so I was checking my email every day. I was looking at the order status, trying to see if it had been updated, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wait till these things show up so I can be surprised because I'm getting depressed. Checking nothing. 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 So, well, okay, Pokemon Blue, good choice. Who was your starter this time?
Always Blastoise. I'm a big lover of water type. And Squirtle is just cool. You know, he's got Charmander. Everyone loves him. You know, but he's just overrated.
He's
Bulbasaur's
weak.
Bulbasaur's just a fat little frog.
But I would say, Charizard was actually more competitively viable than Venusaur was. But Venusaur for a time was killer on competitive teams that would run. I forget what it's called, but the Pokemon comes out, Sunny Day, I think. Maybe, Sunny. And the sun comes out, and then Venusaur can shoot solar beams in every single turn, essentially. And you put a scarf on it, and it's pretty fast, and you can just freaking rip through teams if they're not prepared for it.
It can leech HP as well, which is pretty solid.
But yeah, Charizard was much better once they had the Mega Evolutions and all that crap. So I bowed out after competitive after that. But yeah, Squirtle was my favorite because yeah, every kid growing up wanted Charmander. They wanted the fire type, which I respect them for. It's a dragon. Who doesn't want a dragon? But then I was like, but you see, my type, my water type Pokemon is better than your fire type. It's going to beat your fire type. So therefore, it is a better Pokemon. And that was it. That was it. And that was my whole thought process as a kid. So boom. For me, dude, like I said, mentioned the last time, I'm playing Inside. Have you played this game before?
No.
Dude, go to Nintendo eShop. It's like $2 still, I think right now still. It's a short, very sweet, simple game made by the same guys that made Limbo. If you ever remember that game on the Xbox Arcade, Xbox 360 Arcade, all black and white. This game is great. It is a little bit spooky, not too spooky, Brandon, so you can probably play it. It's a it's a side scroller, and so there's no text, there's no explanation of what's really going on. It's just like you run across this map, you have a jump button and an interact button, and that's it. And there's like eerie things happening, and the story unfolds as you're moving through it, and you're starting to get little snippets of like, okay, what's happening here? Why is this here? Why am I being chased? And then boom, story. It's great. It's a great little game. Not too scary. Would recommend. Pick up Inside. It's like $2 on the Switch right now. And then also I picked up and played some Mario Kart for the first time in a while. And let me tell you something, Brandon. We talked about this in the podcast. I still didn't have that much fun, okay? It's not that fun of a game.
No.
Okay?
Overrated.
It's just, give us a new Mario Kart, please. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Hurry up.
I tried to have fun, and I didn't, okay?
It is time.
I'm over Mario Kart 8. That is all. I'm sorry for those who are listening with loud volume. You probably just ruined your ears.
It's how they have like prolonged that game, like that in itself deserves an award. Like, how can you sprinkle more glitter on a piece of shit, Nintendo style?
Okay, hold on. Take that back. It's not a piece of shit. It's actually a very good kart racing game. The only problem is that we've had it for like 10 years now almost. Like we need something else.
I take that back. I just got really upset.
Hey, it all happens. You know what? Go put your poncho on. Just sit in the corner for a little bit.
It's getting like wet and drizzly now here in the UK. It's winter, so I'm going to put that poncho to use. I need to get like 6 years use out of it to get my money back.
Dude, I don't know, man. I have a raincoat, and I think I paid like $150 for it. So
I bet that actually keeps you dry and warm, though. Do you know what I mean?
It does. However, same issue with the poncho where it just runs off your body onto your pants, and then you're like, well, this is uncomfortable. Like this, if there's one place that I could choose to not have soaked, it'd be like my lower half. Like I'd rather my upper body be getting rained on than my lower body. But that's not how raincoats work. So an umbrella, I vote, is actually the ideal solution, unless you're in a tight space or on a windy day, and your umbrella gets flipped inside out, and you look like a giant idiot walking around with an inside out umbrella.
You know what? Me and Kate had this conversation just to round off the podcast. I came up with an invention called the One-brella. I'm fed up with an umbrella getting one of my side and my shoulders wet because they're too damn small. Like, I know why the pole's in the middle is because it can then fold down into like a stick that you can do what you want with. But like, give me one side extra. So when I'm holding the umbrella on my right side, my left my left shoulder is out in the rain. Because like, if I really want to be central, I need to hold it like this, you know. But in reality, you're holding it on your side because you got your bags and stuff. Like, somebody make a One-brella, damn it.
Well, I don't know if it's One-brella. It's a great name. Great job on that branding, by the way. But I think that there's something that's like there's a golf umbrella. I don't know if you've seen these before.
They're like tents, huh?
Well, yeah, it pops up and it's oblong. So like it has a normal round back, but then it has a longer like front section or whatever.
What? This is exactly what I envisioned.
Yeah, and so you're able to like cover more of either your I don't know, your swing or your body as you're like hunched over trying to do so. I don't know. I don't know why it's made that way, but it exists. I've seen it. I've seen it, man. You should check it out. Oblong
Someone's just
umbrellas.
got an umbrella hat.
Okay. That does nothing for you also.
Freeze up both hands.
Or you could get yeah, I just looked at and I just got a whole bunch of those umbrellas that go over like your patio set, your patio furniture. There it is. I don't know. We'll find you one. We'll get you one. Don't worry, bro.
Thanks.
Well, that is a great way to end off the podcast. Oblong umbrellas. But unfortunately, y'all, that is all the time we have this week. Listeners, thanks for joining in on this fun ride. Don't forget to write into retrospect at retrododo.com or comment on your preferred listening channel. And Brandon, I don't think you have anything left to plug, but if you want to plug anything else, man, now's the time.
I think it'd be good to know what our listeners enjoyed about the podcast so that we can, upgrade and revamp should we make a return.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Let us know. We'd be happy to hear your feedback and maybe some of your favorite memories from all time. We'll get that a lot on the YouTubes for sure. All right. Well, until then, y'all, we'll catch you in the next episode.